This is section 4, working with the command line. We start this section by learning more fundamental commands every Linux power user should know. Then we will learn how to install other important third-party Linux programs. Next, we will learn about processes and signals, introduce you to bash shell scripting, and finally, we will show you how you can automate the execution of your bash shell scripts. Welcome to video Essential Linux Commands. In this video we will learn more essential Linux bash commands every Linux power user should know.
Use the cut command to quickly cut out columns out of text files. This is like a light version of awk. First, let's create a smaller version of the passwd file to work with cut. -d sets the field delimiter. By default it's the tab character. -f uses a single number or comma-separated list of numbers of the fields you want to extract. If using comma-separated lists, also the split input delimiter will be outputted, which can be changed using the -- output delimiter. Next, let's create a smaller version of the services file without comments and empty lines. Using cut is very limited to the special use case that a file's field separator is a single character, such as a colon or the tab character. For splitting text files with multiple consecutive whitespace characters, which are often used in Linux config files, for example in the /etc/services file, the cut command is not working. Also, when using cut, the field order must be fixed in every line or you will run into problems. Here you see that the services file contains no tab separator, but multiple whitespace characters marked with the star character. If you use cut on this file, this will produce nothing but garbage. To split files with multiple consecutive whitespaces, use awk instead. The tr command is like a lightweight version or subset of the set substitute mode. It translates a character set 1 to a character set 2, reading from standard in and outputting to standard out. The syntax is self-explanatory. You can both translate single characters or ranges of characters. The character sets are similar to POSIX, regular expression classes. Read the manual to find out more. Let's discuss the sort command. Here we have an unsorted list of characters. The sort command sorts a text file line by line. By default it takes the whole line into account for sorting. The -u flag only prints out unique fields. Here we have another file which needs to be sorted. Sort works correctly here, as by default it uses the whole line for sorting. Here we have a file which has numbers instead of alphanumerical values. By default sort expects alphanumerical values, so the sorting of numbers is wrong or not natural. To fix this, use the -n option, which sorts by numbers. To sort values from bottom to top, instead use the -r flag. To sort values from bottom to top, instead use the -r flag. You can also influence the sort column if you need. Sort always takes the whole line into account. To fix this, use the -k 2.2 option to sort by the second column. There are many more sort options. Please refer to the manual to find out more. Now to combine the power of cut or awk, sort and unique, let's use those tools together to print out the 10 most occurring service names from the /etc/services file while ignoring commands and empty lines. This command should now be pretty self-explanatory. As you see, the discard exp1 and exp2 are the most occurring service names in the /etc/services file, with a number of 4 occurrences. To count all lines in a file, use the wc for word count command. As you see, the /etc/services file has 11,176 lines. Here are some more essential file-based commands. To extract the pure file name from a path, use the basename command, which often is used in scripts, as we will see later. If you know the extension of a file, you can also use the basename command to extract the file name from the extension. Similar to extract the path name, use the dirname command. To measure the time a command needs for executing, prefix your command with the time command. To compare two files, use the diff command, which will print empty output. If those files are identical, nothing will be outputted. Else the changes between the files will be shown. Diff can also be used for comparing two directories, file by file, using the recursive flag, which will go through all the files from A and compares them to the corresponding files from B with the same name in folder B. The command which can be used to print out where a specific command is located in the file system. This is based on the /pass variable we will see later. T is a useful command which can be used to store a command standard out in a file, as well as print it on the command line, useful for keeping a record of an output but also see what's going on at the same time. Just give the T command the file name you want to write to as an argument. To compress a single file, which means reduce the file size, use gzip. As you see, the compressed files is 4 times smaller than the original file. To uncompress, use the gunzip command. To compress a complete subdirectory, recursively use the tar command with the following parameters as we have discussed before. Please note that the f option must be the last followed by the archive name you want to create as first argument and then the directory you want to archive and compress as second argument. To extract an archive to the following directory, use the tar command with the following flags. -C is the output directory. Here follow some commands to get system information. Hostname prints out the host name. Uptime prints out how long the server or computer is powered on. Uname prints system information such as the kernel version. In the file /etc/Red Hat release, you will find the version of Red Hat Enterprise this CentOS 7 is based on. In the /proc/meminfo file, you will find memory information, for example how much RAM you have. In the /proc/cpuinfo, you will find information on how about your CPUs and cores. Free-mh prints out useful memory information, for example how much free RAM you got. The f-h prints out information about the available disk space. The u-h prints out how much space the files in the current directory take. If you use it with the max depth 1 option, you also get a summary of the folder content. Next, let's show some commands for the current session. Users prints out all the users currently logged into the system. Whoami prints out the name of the user who is currently using this terminal. Finally, some very useful commands. To print the current date and time, use the date command. Use the +%s to generate a Unix timestamp. To print out a calendar, use the cal command. To pause interrupt shell execution, use the sleep command. The DD program or disk dump is a very essential tool every Linux power user needs to know. It is used to copy data from an input file or device to an output file or device. We have used DD before in the first section to override a file system's free space with zeros so we can shrink our VM images. But there are many more use cases for the DD command. DD's basic syntax uses IF for input file and OF for output file as arguments. Also 2 options are very important, the block size and the count. For example, to create a new empty file containing only zeros, which exactly should be 1 GB in file size, use. As you see, the block size is 1 MB, which means the amount of data read at once, and the count is the amount of repetitions of the block size, so that in our example 1 MB times 1024 equals exactly to 1 GB. DD also supports reading from standard in and writing to standard out, so that the command we just used can be rewritten as. You can not only use DD with device files, but also to copy normal files. Also, you can use it for creating images of whole partitions, for example for backups. To access partitions, the root account is needed.